One of our favorite things we do here on the program is when we get email from our viewers and listeners. And keep in mind, you may be listening to this radio program in Dubai, but you may be watching us in Jackson, Tennessee, or Opelika, Alabama. Of course, we're multi-format. We got an email from somebody that wanted to talk to a company called Airgain. We got Jacob Suen in town. He's the CEO. By the way, they are publicly traded on the stock symbol AIRG. And guess who we have? I'm important enough just to have the CEO of a public company sitting right next to you. How do you like that? Love it. Jacob, welcome to the program. I'm going to let you take it away because I want to hear about the evolution of Airgain. I spent a little bit of time on your website. I spent a little bit of time looking at your 10Ks, 10Qs to see how the stock trades. But more importantly, talk about what you guys do on a top level.
Well, first of all, thank you for being here today, and what a great show. Talk about the evolutions of Airgain.
I need you to tell the truth from the very beginning.
Look,
let's face it.
So Airgain, it's actually been founded back in 1995 and became the name change in 2003. It became Airgain. Initially, the company was really focusing on smart antenna technology. Because we do recognize back then, if you remember, was the 11BG days, single stream. So how do you get the better coverage for your entire household?
Sure.
So smart antenna technology was one way to solve it. Now, throughout the years, we have really transformed from just a pure component company now to become a system solution provider. And I can talk about some of the new.
Well, when you talk about enterprise-wide solutions for coverage, we've been talking about this from the very first day, right? We're talking about, is the tube big enough to get the data in and out fast enough? Isn't that the argument? Talk about what makes you guys bigger, better, faster, stronger. What's the key identifier for you guys versus the competition?
Well, we make things simpler.
Right.
So our tagline is that we simplify wireless. Because really with Airgain, we really understand the complexity of wireless systems. So what we're saying is that we simplify, we make it easier to understand. Right? We make it easier to understand, simplify the understanding of it, simplify the integrations of it, simplify the deployment of it, and then simplify the maintenance of it.
Isn't it interesting when we first got wireless, or when we plugged it, we first went to the internet, right? And it was, remember that sound from Prodigy or whatever?
Dial-up.
And by the way, we were willing to wait for the page to populate, right? If I can't get the answer of the population of Corfu inside of 0.3 seconds, what's wrong with this damn thing?
Right.
We're used to instant gratification, so your job is maybe more important than ever. But we also have been hearing and talking about the mythical 5G, honestly, for 7 years. Is it a thing, and can you explain that, and is it on the horizon? Will we be able to benefit from it? Because as I said before, I still can't take a picture of myself in the fridge yet.
Yes. So look, 5G is absolutely the future. However, there are many challenges. As I indicated earlier, it's just getting more and more complex. And then when you think about 5G, people really kind of misuse the word 5G. Because really there's two major areas when it comes to 5G. One is what we call the more higher frequency band, or what we call the high band, which is really anything from 24 gigahertz up. And then what we call the sub-6 gigahertz band, that's the lower frequency band. That's the one we are more comfortable with.
But Jacob, the G stands for generation, right? So we had 2G, if you recall, 3G, skipped right over 4, went to 5. Where are we really right now? If you were to take a guess, are we really just in a 3G universe and hoping to be in 5G? Or where are we now, and where do you guys put us when everything's in place?
Well, I say we are 4.5.
Okay.
I think that the LTE, it's really the 4G. I mean, if you think about Qualcomm here, CDMA, all of that really help us to get better connectivity and more bandwidth, right? We are now able to stream video on your phone, right? That's thanks to the evolutions of LTE, 4G. Now 5G, we can even get much greater bandwidth, right? That was supposed to be intent.
But how much are our lives going to change, really? I want to know. It's pretty. I can move money on my phone. I can send Greg a video. I can talk to my parents with a FaceTime video. I can literally do everything. How much better will our life really be?
But I think that now more and more you're seeing that if you have the whole family now all try to go YouTube, all of them fighting for that bandwidth. And it's not just the bandwidth, from inside the house. It's how do you get that connectivity out, right? And that's the pipe. You talk about the pipe.
Right.
That's that bottleneck. How do we solve that, right? And then we also talk about autonomous driving. So 5G is, one thing about 5G is the ability to be able to support that
So
infrastructure.
multi-users, because right now I've got a piece of aluminum foil and fork sticking out the window from my wife to make sure I've got enough.
How far away are we from 6G? Or
But-
is that a pipe dream, or are you already thinking in terms of that from your company standpoint?
No, we don't.
Okay.
I mean, you hear people talk about 6G, even, some of the, like in China, they're already saying, hey, we started looking into 6G. I think that's still ways away.
Okay.
I think that we still got a lot of room to get us into 5G.
I sort of feel like it was oversold from the beginning because we live in a remarkable society. We can do a lot of stuff. I mean, let's face it, these guys are basically playing wireless because of Wi-Fi. They can listen to me because of wireless. I mean, we're able to do all the things I talked about on a cell phone. But at the end of the day, doesn't it sort of feel like you're sort of nervous in the beginning if it's going to work? So the seamless customer service experience for Wi-Fi, of course, is what you're offering. But it's better than that. Talk about the technology. How has it changed within the framework of what we have already?
Yes, and it gets down to connectivity. So you just talk about you're getting nervous. Why you're nervous is because you're not sure, am I not going to connect it reliably, right? And that's always been the issue. And that's why when we first worked with DirecTV, right, everybody know that, hey, look, I want to be able to stream my video from, to my TV. I don't have to want to do the wire all the way to the back, to the top of the roof for my salad dish. But I need to ensure
want
the
it just to
video's gonna
happen.
work. Yeah,
Right?
but guess what? There's hiccups, right? You don't want to see, your video getting disrupted. So that's why the connectivity is so critical. And to ensure that, that's where Airgain come in and help.
I was going to say, so what is Airgain's secret sauce? What is the focus of Airgain right now? Because obviously you're stepping into to something that is, dare I say, half-baked? Not you, but don't you believe that 5G and sort of the wireless play, they've given us this dream of what we're going to have, and I don't think we have it. You're there to fill the gap, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, well, it's innovation.
Yeah.
And I mentioned earlier that how Airgain was made famous was our smart technology. And all of that, what is it smart? It's the ability using software, hardware to be able to divert. So as we talk right now, as you're moving around, you're actually creating an environment. See, when it comes to radio frequency, we call it RF. You can't see it. That's why they call it black magic. Any kind of change in the environment, that change, right? And how do you solving it? By having the smartness of it that help, make sure that you still get a reliable connectivity.
Jacob, will there be like a best practices for wireless and Wi-Fi technology coming up? Because let's face it, if you go home right now, you've got an iPad, maybe a Microsoft computer, you've got a Sony refrigerator, you've got an LG TV, and they all have to work harmoniously at some point in there. Will there be a best practices for that infrastructure someday? And is that part of what you guys are doing?
And that's exactly what we're doing. In everything you're talking about,
Nailed it.
Talk about interference.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about
seriously.
interference. You see, you are interfering with each other, right? That's what this is all about. And how do you solve that problem? That's what we do. And that's why we're with partners, right? And this is why we have these technologies coming up. That's actually going to help, right? The stuff that you have a connectivity issue, you have a coverage issue. That's what we talk about C-band. That's what we talk about, Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 6E, right? As you get more congested, you have the interference. You need to creating different frequency band to solve that issue.
So what is the velocity until we're there, in your opinion? Or is it will always be changing because technology changes? Because these emerging technologies that you guys, by the way, his name is Jacob Suen. He's the CEO of Airgain. If you think about emerging technologies, you guys can't sit still for more than a couple of months until another thing's going to come. But I want to know when we're going to be in concert. In your best guess, are we 5 years away? Are we 20 years away? Are we 1 year away?
Well, I think that's already happening. So on the in-home wireless side, that's what we call Wi-Fi. I think that a few years back, we are still struggling. But now, think about, your home, all of them, you got running it wirelessly with Wi-Fi primarily, right? And then the other issue you got to solve is more on the uplink side or the downstream side. Is from the base station or from the cellular tower to your house or through the wire, or now they talk about the mobile operators. Now they try to do it from the base station or the tower, and that's the other area that we're gonna have to try to address. And that's what we talk about the 5G, the C-band, the millimeter wave. That's still up and coming.
I think for me, if I can see that if I don't get worried about the Super Bowl not coming on Super Bowl Sunday, and of course our heater works on Wi-Fi, as well as the garage door opener and the gate.
Half of the stuff in our house is on.
No, we're going to trap and die in a fire if this thing doesn't work. So His name is Jacob Suen. Jacob, will you come back with us? I really appreciate it. His name is Jacob Suen. He is the CEO of a company called Airgain. Their stock symbol AIRG. You can go to airgain.com. It'll be great when we could go home and do the Jetsons thing on our phone.
Oh, yeah.
Pool works, heater works, but I can't get a hold of.
We're almost there.
No, it's true.
We're almost
Jacob,
there
thank you,
for
bro.
everything.
All right.
Thank you.
Big Biz Show. BigBizShow.com.
Thank
There
you.
go. Stand by. We got more coming up.